You know, when I'm shopping for clothes or electronics, or maybe groceries or power tools, there's something about how certain products just engage my senses. I want to sit on a couch. I want to see if maybe this jacket works with those pants. I want to smell the fragrance or check the produce. Whether it's a favorite local shop or a big box chain, for some people, a particular store is just connected to their personal hobby or passion. You know, it's kind of their happy place. That's why they call it retail therapy. But not always. Sometimes you're running late. Maybe you've got a sick kid in the car. Or hey, maybe there's a pandemic and it's simply not as safe to spend an entire hour in a store. It's amazing how our entire economy pivoted overnight to a curbside pickup model. But that doesn't necessarily mean it can't be improved. We took 3 designers and gave them 2 weeks to reimagine the buy online, pick up in store experience. How can we solve some of the key problems for customers and employees using digital tools to make their real world experience just a little bit better?
When inspiration strikes, WillowTree teams dive into the industries that impact our lives. Airlines, banks, big box retailers. And we carve out a tight 2 weeks to rapid prototype a new set of digital tools we think they'll love. Whether iterating on an already positive experience or reimagining the customer journey from scratch, we race a rapidly closing window to take what's good and make it better.
Welcome to 2 Weeks to Better. For this episode, we're in Durham, North Carolina on the Golden Belt campus. This is a historic textile mill that's now home to businesses like ours, shops and restaurants. I tend to hit the ice cream store there a lot. And we also have an incredible arts district inside. We're pulling together a fantastic blend of designers for this episode. We have Ryan Davis, Maris DeBrule, and Brogan Williams. We're also pulling in a research perspective with Ian McDermott. He'll really be the voice of the user throughout the engagement. The challenge for this episode is, how can the team reimagine the buy online, pick up in store experience and really make picking up that product at the curbside a delightful process? It's a super tight timeline, but luckily after building 700 products, we can really draw off of our past experience. Let's head over to the design studio.
I was added to the team because of previous experience that I've had working on e-commerce projects, and then also, some massive BOPIS focused engagements that I've worked on.
So Courtney kind of really sold it to me as a great experience for us. Try and still remain realistic, but kind of dream a little bit bigger.
So I only started about 10 days ago. It's been quite a whirlwind, but Ryan and Maris and Courtney have all been really welcoming. The beginning of the process was a lot of research.
It's really powerful to tap into kind of the psychology of what people want to feel in a moment and then give that to them.
I think that there's some interesting constraints. If we're doing a native app, that is a small piece of real estate to help communicate what is usually a pretty immersive brand experience.
The handoff is everything.
Yeah, it's like that moment of confidence that, is this the exact thing that I want? The big back stores, that's where real innovation is, and more of the back end, the inventory management, having the real-time data. I think you could think more deeply about the employee experience in that equation.
We've talked about at times ways to use the customer-facing experience to actually offload some of the work from the store employees.
What opportunities do you see for voice or any other emerging technology to kind of play into this space?
Hands-free is actually just a smart recommendation for safety reasons.
Safety, yeah. The other thing I would say is that the BOPIS flow probably is going to tap into multiple platforms, right? Like potentially starts on web, moves to an app. We've done some work where part of the flow includes an app clip or an instant app, and then also other technologies when we were talking about creating situational awareness for the employee, right? Geolocation, beacons.
Yeah.
There's a number. I'm excited to see it manifest.
You guys are going to crush it.
For a research perspective, what we're looking for is input. Any input's going to be really valuable at this moment because we want our decisions to be informed. We want them to be based on real experiences. We had an opportunity to talk to somebody who works in a major retailer. They operate and help manage this buy online, pick up in store experience. She told a story about a holiday pickup rush where they had 90 cars arriving to receive their things. They have 15 spots at their store. How can they possibly coordinate something like that? Her team really wants really tight understanding of what's going on with the customer so that they can be professionals and game plan and strategize around it.
How can we use the tech behind the experience to make it better for the employee and the customer?
To kind of give you a little bit of background on the story, so we're imagining the situation where someone is needing to prepare a dinner, right? And so they want to try their hand at bibimbap.
Okay.
Which is basically a mixed rice and vegetable dish that's cooked in these stone bowls. There also are a few little things you may need to get with it, like a trivet. You probably will need some things like gochujang.
I love that the team is centering on a narrative. We're story-based people. That's going to help us consider how does this really fit into a person's life? When would they actually use this in a way that kind of seamlessly fits into their day-to-day experience and improves it? Like when I hear like housewares, I think about like natural tile colors. It could be interesting to explore some browns and greens, like almost, you know, you were talking about stoneware earlier. It could be interesting to like sample some stone colors.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Thanks for your input. And we've got about a week left. Yeah, obviously the clock is ticking down, but ultimately this project is just really exciting.
We established a rudimentary design system, nothing too fancy, just some colors, some typography, look and feel inspiration. We're working on visuals, we're working on wireframes to really build out what that experience is going to look like.
Show you some ideas that we have for taking BOPIS to the next level. We've been talking with people who are actually in this field, and some of the main things we've gotten from that are really the need to keep the human element at center focus.
We are trying to incorporate some newer technology to the beginning of the flow, and that would include a voice search. And with a voice search, you can take a wide inventory, a wide array of product options and narrow them down quickly and efficiently and with less hiccups.
So I do like the voice piece, but you know, we've all had that thing where you try and say a voice search and it's not perfect, you don't get what you want, it's a little frustrating. Like, what happens?
The cool thing about Speechly is that it's adaptive. So if you double back and say, oh, actually, I don't want stone bowls, I want metal bowls, it will automatically recalibrate and cancel out the stone filter and add in the metal filter.
I wonder if there's an opportunity to collect some of the information about searches to incorporate later in the upsell process.
After you have bought your items, then you can track the progress of them in real time, see how they're going through the fulfillment process. Utilizing location services, we can trigger an app clip when Esperanza is nearing the store, maybe when she leaves her house. And this really serves two purposes. It creates a seamless journey for the customer, but it also gives timely notifications to the store as well so that they know when to start preparing her order for pickup.
Does it break down at all if someone denies location visibility or doesn't allow for notifications? Are they still going to have as good of an experience as someone who's a little bit more permissive?
They can still manually say, I am on the way. They still will be able to check in with the QR code just like the person with location services. It's just a little bit more manual and a little bit less magic.
Now we've kind of got the culmination of Esperanza's journey. So she's here at the store. So how do we personalize that? We have some concepts we want to introduce around the kiosk.
First of all, the customer can verify their identity. So once the scan is complete, a version of this screen will appear. So firstly, in the top right corner, you can see the queue number. So this is a full form of transparency in saying you're third in line. So you might have to wait because you're not the first person that was here. Secondly, it tells you which associate is going to be helping you if that's been put in the system on the employee side. It tells you how long you are probably going to be waiting, and it also keeps track of that there's been progress. In the middle, you can see there's a spot for notifications. This can either be for tips or for alerts related to the order process. And then we'll move on to the add-ons. On the right side of the screen, the add-ons are shown, and these are also translated onto your personal device. And we devised this scenario to have a specific selection of items that the employees have easy access to. So they don't have to run all the way to the back of the store to grab an add-on item. It's only one of a few that were already selected.
It does seem like a really big investment for a store to make, especially as they've been working through the pandemic, maybe with a bit of a scrappier approach.
There are huge retailers across the country. I've worked with one down in Atlanta where they provide nice custom or out-of-the-box hardware that will really create a sleek experience for users. Another thing to think about would be if they could indicate whether they need assistance with an order for accessibility reasons, or if they have pets in their vehicle as well.
So we've talked a lot about the customer experience and their journey, but obviously we know that great customer service is also dependent on the employee's experience.
So one thing that we wanted to make sure that we addressed from the employee side of things was having one centralized location in this kind of air traffic control style dashboard where the whole team can be on one page. And so our manager, Hannah, she can make sure that everybody knows what's going on. She can monitor who is tracking what and what statuses are for the different products. But this is also something that's visible to everyone. So it's not just for her, it is for the whole team, and they can all stay together and aligned.
You know, Michaela can also drill down a little bit deeper into a more focused view using her own employee dashboard. And so here, Michaela, our associate, can see that Esperanza, our friend who we've already met, who needs her stone bowls, has not been helped yet. Our goal here is to say, how do we take this as an opportunity to step up?
So now we come to the part of the story that is really the moment that matters. When Michaela goes out to greet Esperanza, she can make sure that Esperanza is having the best experience possible.
And so let's say, you know, she provided that great customer service, customer's happy, she moves on, has the rest of her shift, comes back the next day, right? She's ready to get back to work, she logs back on, and the first thing she sees before she gets to her dashboard is another interstitial. This time, we got some good news for you. The manager has that insight. They can say, hey, I saw you did a great job with that order yesterday. Thank you so much for stepping up to take care of that. And then before you click out of this modal, we want to make sure you acknowledge that you're awesome. And so we want, at the end of this, for Michaela to feel that her confidence is now really through the roof, and that her ability to provide great customer service has grown, and that growth has been acknowledged both by the customer and by her employer.
Y'all, amazing progress. These screens were like duct taped together on Wednesday, and it's 2 days later, and these are like ready to go to the App Store, so incredible work.
Where in that, though, is the moment of magic? Where's the minimum lovable product there?
I think if we had to choose one thing to be like the MVP, what do we start with? The business-facing side of it to make sure that their internal processes are really streamlined, and then address the external customer-facing stuff.
This is a great team. I love working with you all.
There's something that happens every time I finish a project where you come down off of it and you might be a little bit sad, but there's always like a piece of it that you bring into the next project.
I've never really seen our process in fast mo, and I think it was pretty cool to see how quickly things get off the ground.
Starting working here has been a long time coming, and I've been looking forward to it for a really long time. So this was a really fun way to start out my journey at WillowTree, and I'm glad they decided to take a chance on the new girl, you know?
One of our core values is just craft, right? So you see that craft really as a through line throughout everything we do. So whether it's Courtney making his, tray, me, making the bibimbap, or just the team as a whole really working on our design work to put our best foot forward, like that craftsmanship something you really see throughout the entire thing. The passion you have for what you do, the care you have to make sure that others are able to experience it in its best possible form, that's really kind of what drives that craft. I love the fact that it's one of our values and it's just so intrinsic to who we are.